In the book of Daniel, in the Old Testament, we see three people, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who when pressured to go with the crowd to go against God, refused to do so. Do you know someone, or have you ever shown such courage when pressured to do the wrong thing?
As a young girl in today's society, as reading the book of Daniel, one story in particular stuck out to me, and that's the story of Susanna. Susanna was pressured by men to do something that was very, very un-Christian and ungodlike. So she stuck in her path, followed the path of God, and refused. Her reputation was at stake, and she still refused. And she told them that she would not do it. They could do whatever they wanted to her, but she knew who she was and what she had to do. Similarly to Susanna, I followed the same path of God. When I was a freshman in high school, my friends were always pressuring me to stay out late, go drinking, do whatever, and not go to church in the morning. Now, as a Greek Orthodox, that's not the godlike thing to do. So when we would go out and I would say, no, I don't really want to drink, they would be like, no, do it. And I got peer pressured, the same way Susanna got peer pressured. Now, following the three youths who were burning in the fiery furnace, I knew that the only place I could turn to in a time of hardship was God. So I went to church and I prayed and I followed the path of God. And I knew that I had to do what Jesus would do and follow the same what would Jesus do. So I stayed in church. I went to church Sunday mornings and I didn't go out late on Saturdays. Now, even if I did go out late, I would always keep in mind, is this something that I should be doing? Is this something that God would want me to be doing? So the three youths did not burn in the furnace because they had the love and the compassion of Christ by their side. Similarly to them, I had the love and the compassion of Christ by my side, which is why I was able to refuse all these temptations in my life, and why I was able to go to church on Sunday mornings and know that everything was going to be okay, because I didn't have to go through anything. Now, my grandfather was diagnosed with ALS when I was very young, and seeing him grow and go through all these physical therapy treatments with a smile and just brave it and get through all the pain that he was going through because he had this love of Christ, inspired me to have the same love of Christ in my life. My grandfather, even though he could not swallow, he still got communion on Sundays, and he still had the priest come to the house when he couldn't walk to go to church to receive Holy Communion. So, following his path, following the path of God, I went to church. I go to church on Sundays. I stay in the house of God and I pray, because the house of God is the only place you can turn to in a time of hardship and in a time of struggle. That place of God is the place that you need to be, and the love of God is the only love that you need in your heart. So whenever you are faced with a struggle, whenever I am faced with a struggle, I turn back to the house of God, because the house of God is where you find love and it is where you will succeed in life. Thank you.